you were growing that business and reinvesting everything back into it for at least 2 years.
Didn't take a penny out of the business until October 2023.
And even still up until that point, you were working on a construction site with Dad,
Yeah,
weren't you?
yeah.
So you didn't take any money out of the business for over 2 years and constantly reinvested it and grew it. So when you said earlier about you feel as though in certain situations you get lucky, yeah, but also there are situations where you can see the vision, you're willing to put the work in,
Yeah.
and then the luck will come later. You know?
Of course, I think it is. Yeah, like I say, I've always been really good with money management. I think it's. Some people would see a business account and if it had £30,000 in and think, well, maybe we'll spend 5,000 and go on holiday. You know, we got all this money sitting here. Me and Yaz always instilled the business has no money. We need to keep reinvesting. We need to keep growing it, you know, and we got it to the point where the salary that we did take £1,500 each, very minimal in the UK. We took that. And it didn't really dent the business because it got to the point of over 2 and a bit years of just growing, compounding, reinvesting to the point where we thought, okay, now we can go full time on this. And it's something that it's not going to affect the business in a way. You know, I think it's hard as well when people start a business, they see it maybe doing okay. And then they think, okay, let's start taking a salary from it. You've just put another expense on the company. You're now reliant on it. That business, it has to be able to produce that money for you to pay yourself. It also has to have enough money to grow and keep compounding and getting more stock in. So I think the best way that we done it was the way that we did, with just keep it growing, not take any money from it. I was working full time, he was working full time, and really just putting every single 3 minute into it. And it was at the point where even before we were taking any money, people was like, wow, you must be rich. I was thinking, mate, all we do is put time and money into this and grow it. It's not about being rich. It's just about keep building this company.
Yeah, 100%. You know what? I think that's a really good point in that actually for 2 years, not only were you not taking a salary, you were investing so much of your time and energy in it to grow it.
Yeah.
Whereas other people, like you say, might be trying to make a quick win, make money quickly, see this as a ticket to escaping their 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Yes, it can be, but it takes time. It really does take time, and more than just time, it's going to take your energy. And you need to have true conviction that what you're doing is going to pay off. Like, you need to understand the long-term vision. Because like you say, if you guys took money out of the business too quickly, and the problem with taking money out of a business is you get used to it.
Yeah.
And you're never going to kind of like decrease the amount that you're
No,
taking out.
I agree.
You're only going to increase it. That's something that I've always said with Joe. Every time our revenue increased, I was like, yes, we could do a bigger payout this month, but we're going to get used to that.
Yeah.
And that means next month we're going to want the same and the same. And we need to be very cautious that, yes, we took a big amount of revenue this month or over the past few months, but can we sustain a salary increase over the next 3 months of that amount? Or do we need to project, our client LTV and stuff like this? So I think money management is one of the most important things when it comes to business, 100%, whether that be taking money out of the business or reinvesting it back in, understanding what you've got available, what cash is coming in, all these things that you don't really learn unless you get involved in doing.
No, I agree. I think that's why it's been good with, like we said earlier, growing the company slowly, understanding what are all the outgoings, how much they're going to be as it's growing with it. So we know, right, we need this much money in the business account always, and we need this much saving in the VAT pot. So everything's coming in. We need to put 20% in there to cover that, because the VAT bills are coming up to like 80, 90,000 a quarter. And it's like, if you didn't have that saved and that came out of nowhere and you got a month to pay it, you're like, well, where do I get that from?
100%.
So it's just trying to maintain everything at the right pace as well. But touching on what you said earlier as well, people think it is quick and it is easy to do a clothing brand. Like the amount of people that message me wanting to start it. But like I say, I also say to them, you need to understand the amount of time we invested into it, the amount of money we invested into it, the amount of it wasn't really doing much at the start, but we were still trying all these different angles, trying to make it work. I think it's very easy to put this money into it, do your first drop, expect to have some big flip, and then it just keeps free flying like that. it's not really going to happen. Not unless you already have a big following or a big amount of people that are already ready to buy it. You're not going to drop it straight away, and it's not going to sell out straight away, you know. I think people don't really understand that. They only see what's going on now, that we are able to now take salary, we are able to live a bit better lives, but they don't see the whole hardship at the start of not taking any money, working full time, finishing work, doing all these emails, trying to put an email campaign out, trying to get all the content lined up. Like, they don't see all them late nights. They just see the success now and they think, well, how do I do that? It seems quite easy. Shall I just get set, drop it, and it should go well, you know?
Yeah.